You're watching Nullmicgo channel, and today is January 11th, 2026. This is your AI news roundup where we go through the biggest stories shaping how AI touches your health, your PC, your workouts, and even your light novels. Let's jump straight in. Story 1. OpenAI launches ChatGPT Health. Reported by Unwire.hk on January 10th. OpenAI quietly rolled out a new feature on January 8th called ChatGPT Health. This sits inside ChatGPT as a dedicated health space, and the idea is pretty bold. You can connect your medical records and health apps and then ask questions to get personalized health-related responses. According to Unwire.hk, OpenAI says this health space comes with extra privacy protections. Conversations in ChatGPT Health are not used to train the base models, and the environment is isolated from your general chats. That's a big shift from the usual default of using some anonymized data for model improvement. But privacy experts quoted in the coverage are still waving a warning flag. Medical records are among the most sensitive data we have. The concerns include what happens if there's a data breach, how long the data is retained, how it's shared with partners, and whether users really understand the risks when they click connect. So on one hand, we have AI stepping into the role of a health assistant, potentially helping people understand lab reports, medications, or chronic conditions. On the other hand, it raises serious questions. Should AI tools be this close to your medical history? And how do we audit whether extra privacy protections are actually enough? This will be one to watch as regulators and hospitals respond. Story 2. Merak's AI treadmill coach. Staying in the health and fitness lane, CNET reported on January 10th about Merak's Ultra Tread T70 Aura treadmill. It comes with an AI coach that automatically controls your running speed based on your heart rate. The treadmill uses sensors to track your heart rate in real time and then adjusts the belt speed to keep you in a target zone. CNET also highlights that the hardware is designed to protect your joints. So it's not just about going faster, but about safer training. When you put this next to ChatGPT Health, you can see a pattern. AI is moving from just giving advice on a screen to actively controlling aspects of your physical experience. That's powerful, but also raises new questions about safety, liability, and how transparent these algorithms need to be. Story 3. DeepSeek's next flagship coding model. Let's switch to developer tools. On January 10th, a thread highlighted on Hacker News and Reddit discussed a report from the information about DeepSeek preparing its next flagship AI model with particularly strong coding ability. Details are still limited, but the emphasis is that DeepSeek wants to compete directly in the AI pair programmer space, going up against models like GitHub Copilot's backend, OpenAI's O3 and GPT 4.1, and other code-focused LLMs. Given DeepSeek's previous models were already popular in open source and local deployment communities, this next flagship could further lower the barrier for powerful on-device or self-hosted coding assistants. If DeepSeek delivers strong coding performance at a lower cost, it could intensify the race to commoditize code generation, making advanced dev tools accessible beyond big tech. Story 4. AI PCs aren't selling, now to hardware and the PC industry. ZDNet published an article on January 10th picked up on Hacker News titled something like AI PCs aren't selling and Microsoft's PC partners are scrambling. Over the last year, we've heard non-stop marketing around AI PCs with dedicated NPUs and Copilot Plus features. but according to ZDNet's reporting, consumer demand just hasn't matched the hype. Many buyers don't see a clear reason to upgrade when their existing laptops already run AI features via the cloud. Microsoft's OEM partners are reportedly under pressure. They've invested in new hardware designs and supply chains optimized for on-device AI, but the killer use cases that make people rush to the store are still fuzzy. This highlights a gap between AI marketing and real user value. Until everyday tasks are dramatically better on an AI PC versus a regular one, people may just wait. Story 5. Europe's sovereign AI without bleeding edge fabs. Staying on infrastructure, Bits and Chips published an article on January 10th about Europe's sovereign AI ambitions. The core argument: Europe might not need cutting-edge chip manufacturing like 2-nanometer fabs to build a Instead, the article suggests Europe can focus on mature process nodes, specialized accelerators, and importantly, the AI software stack, models, frameworks, and data centers. The piece notes that top-tier fabs are insanely expensive and dominated by a few players, but AI workloads can often run efficiently on slightly older nodes if the architecture and software are well optimized. This is a strategic take. Sovereignty doesn't necessarily mean duplicating TSMC or Intel's most advanced processes. It could mean securing supply of good enough hardware plus building strong open source models, European data infrastructure, and clear regulations. Story 6. AI finds glitches in fluid equations. On the research front, Quanta Magazine published a fascinating article on January 9th, highlighted on Hacker News on January 10th, about using AI to uncover hidden glitches in classic fluid equations. Mathematicians use machine learning to probe the behavior of fluid dynamics equations. Think Navier-Stokes and related systems. The AI helped identify subtle inconsistencies or edge cases where the equations didn't behave as expected, or where numerical methods might be misleading. This is a great example of AI as a scientific microscope rather than a black box oracle. Instead of just predicting outcomes, the models helped researchers explore huge spaces of possible configurations, flagging weird behaviors that humans could then analyze. It suggests a future where AI routinely helps test and refine the foundations of physics and engineering. Story 7. A red pixel in the snow. AI solves a mountaineer mystery, from theory to real-world rescue. BBC Future published a story on January 8th, surfaced on Hacker News on January 10th, about how AI helped solve the mystery of a missing mountaineer. The article describes how volunteers and AI tools combed through enormous amounts of satellite and aerial imagery from snowy mountains. In one crucial image, an algorithm flagged what looked like a single red pixel in a vast field of white. That tiny anomaly pointed searchers to the location of the missing climber. The story is powerful because it shows AI augmenting human search and rescue, not replacing it. Humans still lead the mission, but AI can scan millions of pixels and highlight the one that matters. It also raises important questions about access. Will these kinds of AI-assisted search tools be widely available to rescue teams globally, or only to well-funded regions? Story 8. AI-generated light novel loses its prize. Now to a big cultural story from Japan reported by Unwired.hk on January 10th. The publisher Alpha Polis announced that it is cancelling the top prize for the 18th Fantasy Novel Grand Prize. The winning work, with a long isekai-style title about an unremarkable skill called Zhengli or organizing, turning out to be the strongest power for an overworked office lady, was found to have been heavily generated or assisted by AI. Alpha Polis decided to revoke not only the award but also the promised publication and manga adaptation. The controversy centers on whether the use of AI violated contest rules or the spirit of the competition, and whether the author was sufficiently transparent about how much of the text was machine generated. This case is a milestone in the ongoing debate over AI in creative fields. If AI-generated works can win major prizes, how should contests adapt? Do they need explicit AI disclosure rules, separate categories, or even AI-only competitions? And from the reader's perspective, does it change your enjoyment if you find out your favorite new light novel was largely written by a model? Story 9. Infinite GPU, Open Source AI Compute Network. On the open source infrastructure side, a project called Infinite GPU was shared on Hacker News on January 10th. The code is hosted on GitHub by the Scalarize team. Infinite GPU is an open source AI compute network that now supports not just inference but also training. The idea is to pool GPUs across different machines, potentially across organizations, and expose them as a unified resource for running and training models. If projects like this mature, they could democratize access to large-scale compute, letting smaller labs and independent developers train serious models without renting huge centralized clusters. Of course, there are big challenges. Scheduling, security, data, privacy, and reliability. But it's an important counterpoint to the trend of AI compute concentrating in a few cloud providers. Story 10. A 2UI protocol building AI agent UIS. Finally, a more developer-focused story. On January 10th, the A2A protocol team published a complete developer tutorial on building AI agent user interfaces using the A2UI protocol. The blog post, highlighted on Hacker News, walks through how to design UIs that can talk to AI agents in a structured way, defining tools, actions, and states so that agents can interact with apps more reliably than just through plain text prompts. This fits into a broader movement, moving from chat with a blob of text to interact with an AI agent that has clear capabilities, buttons, and workflows. If protocols like A2UI gain traction, we might see a more standardized ecosystem of AI apps where agents can plug into different front-ends and back-ends more easily, bringing it all together. So on January 11th, 2026, the AI landscape looks like this. AI is moving deeper into our bodies and daily routines, from ChatGPT Health reading medical records to treadmills that adjust your speed based on your heart rate. Hardware makers are struggling to turn AI buzz into actual PC sales, while Europe debates how to build AI sovereignty without chasing the most advanced chip fabs. Researchers are using AI to stress test the laws of physics and to find a single red pixel that saves a life in the mountains. Creators and publishers are wrestling with what it means when an AI-generated light novel can win a major award, and whether that should be allowed. And developers are getting new tools, from distributed GPU networks like Infinite GPU to protocols like A2UI that define how agents plug into user interfaces. If you found this roundup useful, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss future episodes. Let me know in the comments which of these stories do you think will have the biggest impact in 2026. The medical AI push, the creative AI controversies, or the open source infrastructure race. Thanks for watching Nullmicgo channel, and I'll see you in the next AI update.